Hi, I'm Eric Bergman. As a member of TV Toastmasters, I get to learn all about video production, running a TV show. Plus, I get to be on camera interviewing really fascinating Toastmasters who share their stories about their hobbies, their activities, and how they benefit our community. I also get to bring in members of my home Toastmasters club. We toasted in Lake Oswego. They get to tell their stories and build their communication skills. We're bringing a voice for District 7 Toastmasters here in Oregon and Southwest Washington to a TV audience. And TV Toastmasters is a great way to learn how to spread your message and share your stories with a wider audience.
Welcome back to our show. My name is Charles. I belong to New Horizons Toastmasters Club in Tualatin, Oregon. If you're looking for a club, we invite you. And today on the show we have Konah Hall. Konah Hall is a host on radio and also on Facebook Live. Her show is called Let Them Say, Let Them Say. Konah Hall, welcome to the show.
Thank you,
welcome.
Charles. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, nice to have you.
Of course.
So we last saw on your radio program on KBOO, right? And we had a good time.
Yes, we did.
Appreciate you allowing me to come there.
Thank
and
you.
the first time we met was on
Elevated Family.
Elevated Family. And that was really nice too. You spoke really well.
Yeah.
And appreciate you for that. And also,
so did you?
Yeah. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Elevate Family should have another, let's say, presentation in July, I believe. Yeah. And so hopefully I'll see you there again.
Right, definitely.
How was the holidays for you, by the way?
Not bad. I had an amazing time. I was out of the States. I went to Minnesota over the weekend. We had an award show out there called Liberian Girls Rock. Mm-hmm. And I was fortunate enough to be one of the honorees at the award for the Star Power Award. So it was beautiful receiving an award, being acknowledged for something that you put in so much work, so much time, and also being around so many influential Liberian women, in the diaspora. It was just really uplifting. So my weekend, my holiday was amazing. I was very thankful. Yeah.
Very good. Your husband was with you?
My husband didn't get to go with me.
He didn't get to go with you?
No, he didn't get to go with me.
Too bad.
He had to stay home, but he was there with me in spirit. I felt him.
Okay. In spirit. That's very nice.
That's for sure.
And he's a nice guy. Just met him the first time, and so he sounds like he's very supportive and very helpful to you.
I'm very lucky to have him. He is one of a kind. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. All right, so who is Konah Hall? Let's hear your life, your story, how you got to be a radio host, all that good stuff. Please share your story.
All right, you have time now.
Yeah, I get a little bit of time.
All right.
You don't have enough time. Go
no,
ahead.
but my name is, of course, Konah Hall, and I've been through a lot in my lifetime that has, led me this far. But born and raised in Liberia, Monrovia, our capital city. And my parents, my dad is Ghanaian. My dad who raised me, I would say is Ghanaian. Mm-hmm. And my mother is, native of Liberia. And born and raised out there, had to flee Liberia in 1989. I was 9 years old when the Civil War started in Liberia. So, I ran from Liberia. I actually had to do it, it's a long story, but long story short is I fled Liberia without my parents.
Wow.
So I had to leave Liberia at the age of 9, move to Ghana, and that's pretty much where my adult life started, was in Ghana. And over the years, over a year or two period being in Ghana without my parents, eventually we came together united, and went to middle school, went to high school in Ghana, and was fortunate enough in 2000 of June, my uncle actually got blessed for the asylum program. So we moved out here in the United States with him and his family. So I moved with them in 2000 and met my husband a year after that, a little bit less than a year after that. Met my husband Leroy, got married in 2003, had my kids, 3 children, 2 boys, 2 girls, 1 boy. And eventually, went to Mahood Community College in Gresham to further, my education, because I wanted to know, I'm in this land of opportunity, what can I do?
Yeah.
And I always had a goal of being a journalist. So coming to the United States, let's take advantage of it, no matter what. So I went out there, acquired some education. Over time, I had to, leave school for a little bit because I got pregnant, and it was really tough. And after having my son, I was a little bit hesitant what to really do with my life.
Right.
Like, where do I go from here? I'm a mother, I'm a wife,
Yeah.
and that's all I am. What else? So I figured, well, go for your passion. You went to school, you had to leave, but you can still do what what your focus is on. So I went to KBOO community radio station. I gave them a proposal of my show, Let Them Say, and they were kind enough to call me back in about 2-3 days, and they told me definitely I can go ahead and join the the crew out there at KBOO community radio, and that's how it all started. Being on the radio for a year now. Still can't believe that it's gone that fast, but so far, and now it led me right here into this studio, and I'm here talking with Mr. Charles Shambry. So
Yeah.
it's taking me a long way.
That's great. You're just going higher and higher.
I'm
That's
getting
great.
there.
Good to hear. So you said something about Ghana. So I have a lot of
Yes.
friends from Ghana. So do you speak Tree?
Yes,
Tree's
sir.
their
I
language?
speak Tree.
All right, let's hear some Tree from you real quick.
Oh, me see. Well, me teach Tree kakra. Me papa free Ghana. Me catch you earlier, but my betina have for over 20 years almost into Tree in the call. Before na me country papa be but he said.
Well, it sounds like you're speaking English.
And I'm mixing with the English because I'm forgetting the language. So
That's fine. That's fine. Well, I put you on the spot.
you
You're
cut
right.
me on
I put
that.
you on the
Oh
spot.
my goodness.
Well, that's good. So you speak 3 languages or
So
2?
I speak 2. So I
Two?
speak
Okay.
English and then I speak Tree. Yeah.
So you don't speak your native tongue?
No, and don't
What?
beat me up. No,
Oh,
not my fault.
you're in
not
trouble.
my
We need to
fault.
talk
It's
to
the war.
some-
Blame the war.
Blame the war. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, so let's talk about the radio station, KBOO. So you were at
Yes,
KBOO, so that is KBOO 90.7 FM.
Yes.
Yeah, and so when I was growing up, it was called KBOO, but I understand it's KBOO. Is
Right.
how
So
you pronounce
on
it?
air we say KBOO.
Okay.
That's what we say when we're on air. But if you're speaking with someone about cable, you go ahead and say, I work at KBOO community radio station. But on air you say this is KBOO Portland. So yeah. that's the
Great,
difference.
love your show.
Thank
so
you.
let's
Thank you.
talk about that. What is the main focus? What's the purpose behind the show? What are the objectives? Please share that.
Yeah, so Let Them Say on Africa Oye. It's a radio show on KBOO 90.7 FM. And this show is about, playing African music, bringing the African culture to people in Oregon. And on my platform, I try to raise awareness on issues going on within our African communities. So I play lots and lots of African music from all over Africa. And sometimes I have entertainers, because you play the music. It's also good sometimes to have the artists actually online. They can either be on the phone or sometimes they come in the studio with
Yes,
me.
I saw that,
You know,
yeah.
exactly. So I try to, bring African culture here to Oregon and, raise that awareness and also, reach out to the American community as well and speak with community leaders because I love to learn and I know everyone out there want to hear, and want to learn from others as well. So I bring community leaders and one of the first guest that I had was Charles McGee, who is he actually ran for city commissioner last year in Oregon, and I also had Sharon Maxwell, who also ran for office commissioner. So yeah, I try to really just have community leaders and also bring awareness on my African culture here in Oregon. So that's what I do on the radio.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun when I was on,
It
on the
is.
radio
It's
station.
a lot
It's good
of
to hear
fun.
all that.
I love it.
All that good music.
Right.
Yeah. So let's talk about the show. Let Them Say, the
Yes.
actual live show, because you're on there all the time.
I
Like,
am.
We're friends on social
am.
media.
You
and
get
I see
tired
there,
of me?
I see you there a lot.
Okay.
So we appreciate you. It must be something good. So What are some barriers? Why are you on there so often then?
Yeah,
Maybe
you know,
share that.
so when I started doing Let Them Say Live on Facebook, it was just something that I felt, okay, let me take advantage of this Facebook Live to reach Africans everywhere. You know, because when I'm on the radio, I'm only reaching Africans in Oregon, you know, or in the United States. But when I'm on Facebook Live, I actually get to see and talk to Africans everywhere in the world. So on Let Them Say Live, I can speak directly to my Liberian people from Liberia. I can speak directly to people from Ghana, directly with Africans, you know, in Europe. So I come on there a lot because there are so many issues going on in Africa, like so much going on, especially in my country, Liberia. We have so much going on right now. You know, Liberia's been to over 20 years of civil war. You know, so we've been through a lot, and now we have a present government, and a lot of confusion going on because everyone wants this government to do everything right away. You know, people are tired waiting. So I come on live a lot because we have a we have a protest in June. June 7th, we have a big protest in Liberia, and the protest might not go well because the intent of the protest is not right. You know, so I come on more and more and try to really raise awareness on that protest and let my people know that, you know, pretty much stay indoors that day. You know, I've been to the war, so I know how it feels for you to be in a country where you can feel safe. You know, so right now as a Liberian, I'm a little scared that, God forbid, something like that could happen again. So, you know, I come on more and more because I want to speak with my Liberian people and raise that awareness that take this seriously, you know, stay home. You know, and sometimes I speak with people that are, you know, in the government over there. They send me information to, you know, relate to the people. So I go ahead. Sometimes just ordinary citizens call me and tell me what they want me to say to the people. So that's why you get to see me on there a lot. You know, I get information and I'm trying to relate the information out there.
Well, we appreciate you being on there so often because, I mean, it's for a good reason, good purpose. So we appreciate that. We're almost done here, but kind of tell us, because there's a festival coming up real quick.
Yes, thank you for asking. I'm so appreciative of that. Yes, so we have
a few seconds.
All right, we have Liberian Entertainment Festival based in Houston, Texas. So this August 24th, we have a festival coming up to celebrate Liberian culture. So we're going to have food, drinks, modeling. It's going to be amazing, and I'm going to be there, the red carpet host. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, so
well, we want to thank Konah for coming to the show. You hear her story, her life, what she's doing to help others. We want to thank her for coming to the show. We thank you for watching the show. Have an awesome, awesome day.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Eric Bergman. As a member of TV Toastmasters, I get to learn all about video production, running a TV show. Plus, I get to be on camera interviewing really fascinating Toastmasters who share their stories about their hobbies, their activities, and how they benefit our community. I also get to bring in members of my home Toastmasters club. We toasted in Lake Oswego. They get to tell their stories and build their communication skills. We're bringing a voice for District 7 Toastmasters here in Oregon and Southwest Washington to a TV audience. And TV Toastmasters is a great way to learn how to spread your message and share your stories with a wider audience.
Welcome back to our show. My name is Charles. I belong to New Horizons Toastmasters Club in Tualatin, Oregon. If you're looking for a club, we invite you. And today on the show we have Mushonda. He is a singer-songwriter. He's here to share his story, his life. Mushonda, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm excited to see you again. We were not too long ago together, maybe 2 weeks ago on the radio station on Konah's show.
We were doing a radio Konah's show, and we did an interview there together.
Yeah.
And then prior to that, we've done 2 events with Elevate Family.
Yeah.
You did an amazing job inspiring the crowd.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And you did a good job as a host and also singing, so I appreciate you, and I think we make a good team.
Yeah. You know, it's nice to hit them with a 1-2 punch, right? You go to talking, and then you play some music, and makes for a good meeting.
Yeah.
So
hopefully we can hear some singing today.
Yes. Hopefully so.
Put you on the spot. He put me on the spot a lot on the radio station. But anyway, nice to have you. So who is Mushonda?
I like how you say my name,
Yeah.
man. You have that power of Mushonda. That's like the American way of trying to say my name. I say my name is just Mushonda.
Okay.
But I was born and raised in Zambia. I've been in the U.S. for the last 15 years. I come from a family of about seven kids, because in African culture, kids don't just end at the kids that are biological in the nuclear family. So I say about 7 kids because all my cousins are also part of my family as siblings.
Wow.
I am a singer-songwriter. I grew up in a family that's just very musical and has been involved in a lot of the arts and different other things back home, including politics. But I gravitated more towards the music. And that music is what has really opened a lot of doors for me and even facilitated my coming to the U.S. and me being here today.
Great. How'd that work out? How'd you get here and all that? So tell us about that story, or at least cover it if you can.
Well, you know, I played music as a young kid. I started out playing just hand drums. I grew up in a family that was just very musical. And that musicality was just nurtured because the rhythm of Africa is music, man. The languages, everything just speaks rhythm. And so I grew up in that, and it was almost a natural instinct for me to just gravitate towards music. And as that grew into something else, I ended up on TV quite a bit in Africa.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, and
Wow.
on the radio, I was working for an audio-video studio down there, and that visibility created some opportunities that opened doors for people to be like, whoa, how about if you come and work and do some stuff in the U.S. at a church initially? Yeah. And so I moved here primarily because of that.
Great story.
Yeah.
Good. So let's talk about your singing. How would you describe your singing ability? How would you compare it?
It's kind of interesting to say, oh, my singing ability is this. But what I like to say is I'm an inspirational guy. You
Okay.
know, I'm not really a guy that's concerned so much about the excellence of delivering music in the most excellent way, but more about conveying emotion and being in a place where people can actually connect with me in that sense. Obviously, my background is African, so like there's a lot of music in Africa that is just so touching. It just hits you at the soul. And so there's that influence. And then obviously growing up in a Christian church, Christian music has always been a type of music that is inspirational by nature of what it is. So a lot of what I do, I don't like to put myself in a genre to say I play this kind of music.
Yeah.
I try to just play whatever I feel and whatever needs to be conveyed to people. I don't necessarily like to compare myself to other artists, but I can tell that there's artists that obviously inspire me. There's a guy called Oliver Mutukuzi who just passed away from Zimbabwe. There's a guy called Youssou from Senegal. I also like John Mayer in the U.S. I also like a guy called Israel Houghton. So my taste of music is just it ranges a lot. And if you see what I write, it kind of ranges from really that African pop, jazz, to African like traditional music, to all the way to bluesy, jazzy, John Mayer-ish type of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good. So I want to put you on the spot because you put me on the spot. He put me on the spot on the radio.
This is payback
program.
huh?
So this is payback. But I want to hear at least a sample of your music. Can you just give us maybe a?
I'm gonna sing one line or two lines.
Okay. Yeah. Anything.
I am a soldier in my own war. 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 Woo! There's no enemies. It's just me and I. I am a soldier in my own war.
That was great.
That's something I
That's
wrote.
great. That's great, man. That's good.
That's
I love
putting
it.
me on the spot. I'm not
I
exactly
love
used
it.
to singing without an instrument in my hand because I tell people one of my biggest suits is I'm an instrumentalist more than I can ever be a singer.
Mm-hmm.
And the feel of things sometimes feels so much better when I'm playing a drum or I'm playing a guitar, I'm on keys or whatever I'm doing. But if I'm playing something, it's like, okay, I can feel this.
Yeah. Well, that was great. I
Thank you.
enjoyed it and I love it. I'm sure the viewers enjoyed it as well. Let's cover the process, because you're also, like you said, you're a songwriter. So let's cover that. What's in the process? What are you thinking? How do you formulate a song?
So, from all the friends that I've had that are musicians and stuff like that, and as you get older, you kind of start to learn about which ones are your strengths as a musician and what parts you're like, okay, I'm not good at that, but I'm good at this. So my biggest suit is formulating rhythms and melodies, right? Like writing songs. So more than anything, I'm more of a writer than even a singer or a musician. I'm a writer. So the process of that for me, because I'm a person that appreciates the rhythm, usually it's so interesting, man. When you really have a gift to do something, you have simple ideas that come from even just sleeping. I wake up and I dreamt of a rhythm or a certain melody in my head is playing.
Yeah.
And I have to pick up my guitar as soon as I can, get my recorder, and just hum it, play the chords out the way I heard them in my head.
Yeah.
And then sometimes that will be just that. And it might take months before I finally get back to that and say, okay, now I can add some lyrics to it. So usually for me, it starts with rhythms and melodies that I'll record. Other times it's coming from life experiences, I get hurt really bad, or I get happy about something, or I just feel, at times I've had the imposed action of just like, we want you to write a song for us.
Yeah.
Which is like one of the most fascinating things, because you have to come up with something on the fly. So usually those are the kind of different ways that for me things happen. Or sometimes I'll be jamming around, just playing around on my guitar or playing on keyboards, and something catches my ear real quick. I'm like, oh, that sounded like something that if I combine it together properly, it might come up with something. So that's kind of how my process usually goes. So I don't usually come from a lot of these really massively inspired moments where because it's like, sometimes it's as simple as I just felt like writing a song about Charles.
Yeah.
Write a song about you.
I would love to hear that song about me. That would be nice. Well, let's hear what songs have you at least produced? Because I think when I was on the radio station, there was one of the songs that you presented that was a song that you wrote. How many songs have you written, and maybe share some of them?
So right now, like my catalog of written songs, like I said, I'm a more prolific songwriter than I'm even a musician. It's definitely over 100.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
But here's the thing: it's been coming in seasons, because there's been times when I was involved in church a lot, and so I wrote a lot of songs that were more church-based, and there had to be songs that could be used in a congregation. And a lot of them are performed in some churches here in Portland.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends in the gospel industry here, so they perform some of my songs here and there. And when I perform and I do worship stuff or church music, I go do that. But then over the last few years, I've branched out a lot, and I'm not just a church musician. I don't believe in that. I believe in being able to share music wherever I can.
Yeah.
And so I play a lot of songs about love. I play a lot of songs about hurt. I've gone through some stuff in my life that have put me in a place where those experiences, now I can harness them and channel them into something that actually is constructive and people can listen to and have a pleasant experience while also experiencing my pain. I don't know how that works out.
Yeah. I know your wife's here too, so
my wife is here.
She inspires you a lot, probably, is what you're saying.
I've said a lot of things to her about, like, many years ago I used to say, I don't ever write songs about you because you didn't inspire me. Bad line. That was not a good line. No, that didn't sit well.
What do you make songs about? Because you have children too, right?
Yes.
Do you have any songs about just your family?
Absolutely. And so over time, as you get to fall in love deeper with somebody, as you get to love your kids more than maybe you even felt you could love yourself, those inspirational moments do happen. The one key guiding factor that I write, though, when I write my songs has always been that I don't want to write songs that I can never play in front of my kids. Music for me is such a tool, it's such a powerful tool that you have to use it always for positive. That's just how I see it.
Yeah.
That's my view about it. And so whenever I write songs, despite them being about things that are about love and subjects that might be a little like, okay, this is a heavy subject, I still phrase them in a way that even if my kids might not be able to understand the nuances of what I was talking about, and the grand scheme of things as they get older, they'll be able to listen to those songs and I'll be like, did Daddy just say that?
Okay.
You know?
Very nice. As we're finishing up here, how do we stay in contact with you?
So I have a website, MushondaMwango.com, MushondaMwango.com, or Mushonda Music on Instagram, at Mushonda Music. I also have a page on Facebook. You can reach me there, just Mushonda. There's not a lot of Mushondas around here, so if you type in Mushonda mostly, especially in Oregon,
They're going to get you, right?
they're going to get me.
Very nice. All right. We heard Mushonda, his life, his story, his passion for music. We want to thank him for coming to the show. We thank you for watching the show. Have an awesome, awesome day.
Hi, I'm Phyllis Harmon. I'm a member of TV Toastmasters. In this club, we have an opportunity to practice speaking before the camera as well as running the equipment room. If you're interested in being interviewed on TV Toastmasters or becoming a member, please go to Toastmasters.org and look for us, or simply search for TV Toastmasters on the web.